Good morning. It's 1 April 2016, and like God promised, the dollar is now hollow. This is not an April Fool's joke. The dollar is no longer the world currency as of today. The dollar is hollow. We warned the banksters. They didn't listen. Watch what God does. Over 140 nations are no longer using the dollar to trade with as of today. This is a hidden international agreement. You're not going to read about it. On 19 April, the Shanghai Exchange takes over the value of gold and silver. In June, the AIIC meets and the dollar will begin to falter. 1 June, the dollar will begin to falter. God does not lie. I can't find my glasses, but God doesn't lie. By mid-October, every financial entity in the U.S. will begin to fall. Folks, there's a reason we're saying be ready. To get ready. We're part of showing you how to get food from one company on one channel, and we're talking about joining another food company on another channel. The reason is you can get food a lot less expensive than Safeway. We want you stocked up because we're looking at, within the next 12 months, if the United States is still here, we're looking at somewhere around the dollar being somewhere between 20 cents and 10 cents. This is very serious. It's going to be very hard to get food, if we can get it. Then again, nothing may happen. Just assume the dollar is going to be king forever and don't prepare. Besides, what is wrong with buying food for 2/3 of the price of what you get it for at Safeway? The banksters, when the dollar begins to falter and the market starts to fall, the banksters will be skinned alive. Not kidding, they'll be nailed to a wall and skinned. Just like the head of Chesapeake Oil was. God told them what to do to avoid this. They did not listen. No matter what General Dumford of the military does, no matter what the satanic priests in the Joint Chiefs of Staff do, it doesn't matter on the dinar revalue anymore. The dollar's hollow. They can revalue the dinar all they want. The time for that has passed. And do you really think a bunch of satanic priests are going to do the best thing for America? Huh? Pray that these traitors on top are flattened for life immediately. This is what's happening to the dollar. 70 years before today, it was the English pound that was the world dollar. 70 years before that, it was the French franc. Now it's going to be the Shanghai dollar, the yuan. You think, where am I getting this information? France, entire Swiss branch of Rothschild banking empire under criminal investigation following David de Rothschild's conspiracy indictment. Remember, his real name is not de Rothschild. He's a Bowery boy, but he's also a baron. And a baron and above may not be prosecuted in court. If they are prosecuted in court, the judge is to be killed. It's the Magna Carta. When I go to court, if I have to go to court, the judge and everyone there will be terminated. You cannot prosecute David Rothschild, but you can destroy his empire. It talks about the defense of the Rothschilds. Even Claude Van Damme is now exposing these nutcases. It is a good step in the right direction. The courts are now in agreement with us that there is enough evidence to interrogate Baron Rothschilds. The first thing they will have to do is find him. Once they have done that, they can begin to question him. It is a real breakthrough. They're going to question a 99 or 100-year-old man? No, they have to take the whole system down. This man is so evil, he killed his son in a plane crash. He doesn't care about you or me. He's not going to tell the truth. Beijing to first host meeting of AIIB, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Get to know that. Mandarin may become your second language, but English is really the language of money. The AIIB is to hold its first annual meeting in June. In June, the dollar becomes hollow. They begin lending on the gold standard. It talks a lot about how they created this bank, the Chinese elders. China has already held its AIIB opening ceremony in mid-January. This is one of the reasons Obama went insane. They're losing control. They're absolutely losing control. I want to give you enough time to absorb that. A third of the oceans are dead. A third of the land is dead. And Lucifer's messenger is losing control, losing grip with reality. Something is big, much bigger than Lucifer. And finally, Shanghai shock, 19 April, yuan-based gold standards. Went from the United States to Switzerland to China. They're more evil than the United States, and don't think they're any plethora of happiness and wonderfulness. They're just as evil. But they're switching the financial system. Just like the head of the Jesuits said on 15 April 2000. We've talked about it on TV. We've shown you here on YouTube. We've talked about it on APFN before its news, Pravda, until they shut everybody out except their own people, and a lot of other news media outlets. We just went over that, by the way. Bloomberg states that there's no evidence that China seeks to adopt a traditional gold standard. China is warning foreign banks that they must participate in the yuan-based gold price fixing. The first ever Chinese benchmark is set to launch April of this year, 1/5/2016. So here we have it. The gold price will need to be $64,000. Bloomberg lies. The gold price will need to be about $10,000 an ounce to back all of the Chinese and Russian currencies. And then China and Russia will begin to take over. Now, they were told, again, if they do this without God, it will fail. Well, God hasn't been called into this. They're using their own standard. God showed them what to do. They didn't listen. So I don't know how long this gold standard China is setting will last. And there will be no dinar revaluation. We also know that China's been buying a lot of gold, but we also know we can grow gold. We showed the patent on growing iron. If you can grow iron, 50 years ago you can grow gold and silver. That's it, folks. Nixon ended the gold standard. The world went on a fiat currency. We have hyperinflation. And now it's time to put an end to it. China has warned foreign banks it could curb their operation in the world's biggest bullion market if they refuse to participate in the planned launch of a yuan-denominated benchmark price for the metal, sources say. Now, of course, they don't say who the sources are. What that means is a devaluation of money here at home. It means supply chain disruptions. It means you need to go to Jim Willie and listen to what he has to say and understand that in the future, gold and silver will be sellable, so will food. And if we go down this supply chain road and the dollar goes away, like this says, then the food chain supply will be disrupted, which is, again, why we talk about being ready. The gold market cannot be fixed by paper gold on a repeated basis. In London, I think there's 278 paper gold ounces sold for every real gold ounce that there is. Remember about a year ago, I got an intelligence briefing, and it said, when we know that there are 100 pieces of paper of gold for every ounce of gold, everything will begin to fall apart. Well, guess what? What we explained on YouTube is 100% right. In London, it's 278 to 1. In the U.S., it's 100 to 1. The world knows it. The dollar is falling. Just like the intelligence briefing we explained. It must have been a year ago. Not sure what that is, but remember, you can grow gold. Year of the Dragon. Isn't that interesting? The year of the dragon. And the dragon will rise from the east. Yeah, rings a bell? Something in the Bible about that? Gold is great, but you won't be able to buy food with it. And if the supply chain is disrupted, you're going to need food and water. Coming to you live, Dr. William B. Mountain, and we'll leave you with that. This has been planned for 70 years. Just like France didn't expect the franc to go away as the world currency, England did not expect the pound to go away. Before it was France, it was Spain. Spain, France, England, and now the United States, and now the yuan. Coming to you live, Dr. William B. Mount. Thank you and good night.